Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about being a hot mess or in a situation where we feel like a hot mess and we don't quite know how we managed to get there. And this is very relevant to people who like to keep the peace or who want to seem like they are not aggressive. Or in other words, if you know that you're a conflict avoidant or that you're a people pleaser, you're most likely going to end up in this kind of hot mess. So let me see, there's some hands up there, or you recognize yourself in this. Now, usually you are completely dumbfounded about like how did things escalate so much and how on earth did things become uncomfortable or actual fight when you just wanted to keep the peace, when you really just like having peace, and where your role in life has mostly been being mommy's good girl, being mommy's good boy, being the one who brings down the temperature and who distracts everybody from having fights. And then you end up in these situations yourself. So what happens usually is that once we start growing up and we start recognizing that we are in patterns, even if we're not really aware of it, even if we are still largely just on automatic pilot, we are starting to recognize that we don't get back what we give. And we start recognizing that we've got some needs which are somehow not fulfilled. And that things happen in life because other people are human and they are going to annoy us or they're going to disappoint us or we are going to want better from them or we would like a little bit different way of being together or being in a relationship or living our life. And because we are conflict avoidance or keeping the peace, which means that we will most of the time not have difficult conversations, we tend to bottle up. And when we bottle up, the resentment is still there. The resentment turns into passive aggressiveness. And passive aggressiveness is the hardest aggression to, to, to even address if you're the person receiving the passive aggressiveness, because you're with somebody who so much want the peace that they will even deny being passive aggressive. So they won't see it themselves and they will not, no, I'm not annoyed, no. And in other words, whatever is not dealt with is not dealt with. Full stop. And it just wouldn't go away. And then we are in those hamster type relationship where we have the same argument over and over, we make the same mistake over and over. So I'm going to give you a very fast, I'm going to read it to you because the list is long. I don't want to do a long thing. This has been a workshop, so I've got it all ready. Okay, so withdrawing or quiet, being quiet, reserved, withdrawn, stonewalling, passive, that's all one thing. Sarcastic comments, pretending to agree, deflection to the other person, changing attention to something else, making somebody else guilty, silent sabotage or intentional mistakes or carelessness where you become spiteful, intentionally failing to follow through, which is also the same, making excuses, jokes that are not funny, personal comments which are out of line, minimizing what somebody else have achieved, what they've done, agreeing but behind their back you will gripe, a hostile or a sullen attitude or a tone or a body language, complaints of injustice and unfairness, seeing yourself in a victim kind of position, and you will criticize somebody, but it will actually be delivered as a compliment. It would be wonderful if it wasn't this and this, or such a beautiful dress, such a pity that it doesn't really suit you, that sort of thing. Getting the last punch in after everything is resolved, still coming back and just have to get the last little word in. And punctuality problems is quite a big passive aggressive way, just don't show up or being late. Indirect request, it would be great if you could clean the garage, but I suppose tomorrow we'll have to do, that sort of reluctant agreeing to it, and you look as if you're agreeing, but meantime you are really not happy, but you're not saying it. Accidentally omitting something or forgetting somebody, I'm just not inviting you, I accidentally forgot about you. Keeping the score and seeing everything as competition. So We have to realize that if an adult don't speak up about the problems that we are experiencing, the things that make us unhappy, what we want differently, it's going to come out as passive aggressiveness. And you may never have seen yourself as passive aggressive, but it's extremely hurtful to relationships. And because the other person can't deal with it, and it's just there silently under the carpet, and it just makes all this lumpy carpet because nobody can deal with anything, our relationship tends to become very, very tense and hard to have real life adult conversations about stuff. Passive aggressiveness destroys our relationship when we just wanted to have peace. So it's up to the person who's passive aggressive to start learning how to speak up, how to say no, I don't want to do it, no, can you do that for a change, please? I don't like doing that anymore. Can we do this differently? I would rather go to another type of restaurant. I don't like this. And it's, you don't have to be nasty about it. It doesn't have to create uh, friction, but passive aggressiveness will create friction. It will create a separation between us. So it's really important. If you are with somebody who is passive aggressive, it's time to take it, pink elephant out, put it there and say, here's a pink elephant. Its name is passive aggressiveness. I can't do this anymore. It's unfair to me. I'd like you to talk to me. This is what passive aggressiveness is. Here's a list. Please do something about it because it's very, very unfair. Our relationship is important, and I don't want to be in a relationship where you don't talk to me and you pretend everything is fine, but then you treat me like that. So I hope this helps you. I I am going to come back and check the comments, and please share and give us a like. And next week, I think I'm doing the last hot mess. And if any of these have helped you, let me know. I don't want anybody to be a hot mess because of behaviors that we can change. So until next week, from Muffin and me, it's Muffin, from Muffin and me, I'll see you next week. Lots of love.